Margaret, for introducing Shirley and myself, and thank you to IMATA and ICA for allowing us to present this paper that is related with camels and dolphins and Puerto Escalos. That is a beautiful marine park in the south of Baja California, Mexico. It was founded in 2011. Currently, it has 8 adapted water dolphins in 7,000 square meters. It's a unique natural environment facility in the Sea of Cortez. The Sea of Cortez is a marine ecosystem named by the Custo at the World Aquarium. The marine park has been a proud alliance and a managed member since 2012. Since the opening of Puerto Escalos, the marine park has made a huge commitment with the community because this park has the largest school visits and free educational tours than any of all the our 14 dolphins covered locations. The care of the marine life and all the animals in Baja California is amazing. Our outreach program has been expanded with the arrival of 8 dromedary camels, Camel dromedaries, to be included in the educational experience.
So in December 2012, 4 lovely 2-year-old camels arrived to our park from San Antonio, Texas. The 4 camels had no training history and all were born under human care. They were extremely shy at first, but absolutely adorable. We also had 4 other camels, 3 adults and 1 single dog, who arrived at our park with previous punishment and negative reinforcement-based training experience. Their behavior repertoire included how to walk with a leash and taking people for rides. Now, shortly after their arrival, we did discover the adults had learned many undesirable behaviors, such as obstructing the trainer movements, pushing trainers, maintaining an unsafe distance from the trainers, and vocalizations of dominancy. Now, clearly these learned behaviors and precursors, they need to be addressed so as to prevent any aggressive acts.
So, hiring experienced staff to care for the camels must be a time experience. The candidates have an average profile of mix between Rambo, Indiana Jones, and John Wayne, so we found that their techniques were to use leash, human dominance, and full preparation sometimes. So we were not convinced at all at this moment, and it's not uncommon to read training reference about camels and find words such as extremely aggressive animals and a high possibility of keep your boss hostile.
Right, we know in this literature search that Alex refers to, even other nations classify the species as a most dangerous wild animal. So, the question is, well, should we believe what we read, or should we trust our knowledge and experience using positive reinforcement-based training?
Yes, our dolphin discovery manual and philosophy state that all of our species are treated with the utmost respect and care and principles of positive training techniques being used to modify behaviors to facilitate husbandry, including display, interactions, and research. At this point, we didn't modify the animal training manuals, but we modified the training methods with the camels. So finally, we did not hire anyone with previous training camel experience, so the marine mammal trainers will be in charge of the training and care of the camels.
Right, so what does that mean? That means that our marine mammal trainers have sets of new basic ground rules for the camels. So the first, their diet, now a reinforcement schedule for training. Second, build a relationship. Establish the trainer as a positive element in their environment. Remove the leash. We don't want it. Get rid of it. It's not part of our philosophy. And lastly, train the same husbandry behaviors as our marine mammals. Now, a camel's diet, it consists of hay, pellets, and carrots. Carrots and pellets would be our main reinforcer to modify behavior. Each camel daily consumes about 8 pounds of pellets and about 2 pounds of carrots. Hay is part of their base diet, so we provide this to the animals in the morning and at the end of the day. The first step in this entire process was simply for all the camels to learn how to walk with the trainer. Each and every step was positively reinforced using the carrots and the pellets.
For sure, there are several methods within operating conditioning to obtain behaviors in a positive way. One of them is to use the targeting, which allows us to send the sample from one point to another without having to use a leash. This opened the door for a wide range of behaviors that we could train. And one of the most important, the follow me, is a nice way to build a relationship with follow. Another nice example is to train the down behavior or international name push. Normally ropes and funny tubes are used for negative reinforcement. In this case, we use the history of the target to make the camel resistant and reinforce the lowest position. This became fundamental to reach the goal of working tools. And this process took a couple of months, but the main goal was to not use any aggressive stimulus for our camels. Within 2 months of training the 2-year-old subjects, we were able to work basic behaviors on free contact such as stay, follow me, and touching off the entire body. We are happy to start interacting with camels as any other animal, responding to SDs and applying our techniques. Also, the meaning became positive for them, which is a big step for future interactions. Every session involved physical contact to continue building our relations, and we noticed that the camels became more desensitized to us, so we were on the correct path.
Right, it is important to note, however, that the adult camels, again, they did have this aggressive history towards the trainers, so we continued to use the guiding leash for several months. And safety is our first priority with all of our animals, including the camels, and especially dealing with animals who have an aggressive history. So, we introduced the same safety measures that we use with marine mammals, such as a recall and a decoy training. This is a good step in extinguishing some of the undesirable behaviors. As you can see, the camels in AB, it becomes an adventure.
It's a real adventure. Yeah, that is one of our values in these camels. So the most important achievement was trust. After trust was built, training became more fluid and fast. One of the behaviors that we wanted to train was the layout. It would allow us the possibility to explore the stomachs of our animals for educational tours or medical examinations in a comfortable way. So after several fluid attempts to the target, we observed the natural behaviors. So when they play with water, we noticed that when the camel feet wet the floor, they lay down and rub the whole body on the ground, offering precisely the desired position. So we do not let this opportunity go. As trainers, this kind of behavior is an easy way sometimes to achieve goals when other techniques doesn't work. So taking advantage of this natural behavior, we decided to introduce some water next to the camel when he was in a push or down position. I'm surprised. The primary rock body again and again, but finally we have a desirable behavior in front of us. So the next step is to have it under stimulus control for future applications.
I think the camel might argue that that is a primary.
So this technique of capturing behaviors and reinforcing led us to be able to introduce an SD and then to have full access to the ventral side. Even audible SD at the end was introduced to some of them. In the bibliography of the camel, we have found that they recommend in most cases immobilization of the species to perform medical procedures. In other cases, such as taking blood samples, we recommended to reduce the space of the animal with a funded tube. Or in other cases, take them to the nearest veterinarian. Either way, these methods are not the way that we operate, so therefore, it's not a choice.
Right, so monitoring the health of our camels is part of our commitment since the beginning of this challenge. And obtaining blood samples is obviously an important component in animal care. And as marine and mammal trainers know, that blood draws, they can be asked at any moment, not just at the regular scheduling monthly or quarterly schedules. So to set the animals and the training staff up for success, we kind of had to find a balance between a comfortable position for the animal and an easy access for the attending staff. You'll notice, or what happened was during the first 3 months, we did not have voluntary blood draws. However, after about 100 days, having the camels under our care, we did condition this behavior in a comfortable position for everybody involved. We even entertained a blood sample in free contact.
There are several ways of drawing blood from a camel. The neck, the limbs, but the ventral vein is an easy visual access for veterinarians and has given us great results educating our patients. The camels have the ability to kick sideways, forward, or backwards, but the main criteria of this behavior is, for any reason, you cannot move the limbs. But it does allow movements of the rest of the body, such as neck, tail, and visual contact with veterinarians and trainers. We noticed that the use of primary force during the whole process made the camel feel more comfortable, and using magnitudes at the end of the behavior, if another word reached, was the key to the success.
Now, many people think that camels don't drink a lot of water, and that's not really true. In fact, access to water is absolutely necessary. Camels can drink up to about 100 liters, or that's about 380 gallons in just one instance. So obtaining urine samples to monitor things like hydration states, kidney functions, possible infections, that's a critical component in animal care. What we did for the males is introduce a tactile ST on the base of the penis, which allowed this behavior allowed us to obtain urine samples about a month every month. Once every month.
That's happening.
How's that happen?
Saddle training takes time, so introducing positive reinforcement during the contact wave was the key in the process towards the direction that we want. To prepare a camel has a training process, so we worked for months on getting the animal desensitized to all the people involved, making sure that the saddles were safe and comfortable. Every step forward was reinforced, and teamwork in this case is really important. Lastly, our base must be safe during the ride and feel that there are no restrictions for the animals so they can appreciate the training better. Education with camels will not be lost, so we implemented our dolphin environmental educational program on pollution and animal care. We created the petting zoo, where children and adults can enjoy a close proximity to the camels, feeding their hair, hugs, and even give them carrot-kisses.
So what we'd like to do now is we'd like to share with you a video which demonstrates what we do with camels and how we included our newest addition to our Dolphin Discovery family and educational tours applying the same exact techniques we all use with marine mammals. So I hope you enjoy.
But we are more grateful to allow us to enjoy training our species during the past years. We believe that it's important the training methods, but it's more important that the world feels that animal trainers are extremely necessary on marine parks, zoological institutions, or any other place that let everybody admire and learn about the amazing animal life.
Thanks. I do just want to take this opportunity to give you a small update on this facility. While we've all been here, a Category 3 Hurricane Elliott did strike a direct hit on this facility. It doesn't look like that anymore. We are, of course, happy to report that preventive measures, living in the Caribbean and Mexico are kind of used to these things, is all the animals and staff have been evacuated, everybody's healthy, so that's good news. The other thing I did want to point out, to thank our Vice President, Edgar Urbina, is he wanted to be here, very much so. He could not be here because him and the rest of the staff is dealing with this situation in Cabo. And it's really a testament, I think, to a couple things.